In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this trendy bubu blouse or top. So this bubu blouse is an high-low bubu blouse. So the front is high while the back is low, and it has this floating pocket attached to the front. So guys, if this is a tutorial you're interested in, please like this video, drop a comment for me in the comment section, share this video with your friends and community, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click on that bell icon to get notified whenever I drop new videos. For this blouse, you will need about 1.5 to 2 yards of your Ankara fabric or any fabric of your choice. Then you will need your chalk to mark, your ruler, your scissors, and your tape. So guys, depending on how long you want your bubu sleeve to be, that is the sleeve length to be, for mine I will be working with my elbow length. So for this, I will also be adding a band at the elbow length. I'll be adding a band of about 1.5 to 2 inches. So in case you don't want to add a band at your sleeve, it is fine, you can just hem it directly. So I'll measure my shoulder divided by 2. Then for my elbow length is 12 inches, so I will deduct about 1.5 to 2 inches away from that. I'm adding a band at that part, then I will mark. So in case you don't want to add a band, please you will add your hemming allowance. So after marking your elbow length, so let's assume your elbow length is 12 inches, you will measure the 12 inches, then you will add your hemming allowance. So let's assume you want to aim it with 2 inches, you will add the 2 inches. So for the length of the blouse, it's like a crop top at the front. So for me, I'll be using my half length. So let's assume if your half length is about 16 inches, I would advise you use about 17 to 18 inches so that your navel, like, it is not too crop. So if you are working with, if your half length normally is 16 inches, and the half length is above the navel area, so you add extra 2 inches to it, or you can just measure from your shoulder to your navel area. So the half length of the client I'm working with was 16 inches, but I'm using about 17 to 18 inches for her. I'm using about 17 and a half for her, and it was perfect. So after that, make sure you add half inch at the top for the hemming, for the joining at the shoulder. Then you also add additional 2 inches for the hemming of the blouse. So everything all together, just calculate it like that. So if you are using 17 inches, you will add extra 2.5, that is 2 inches for the hemming at the lower part and half inches for the joining of the shoulder. So at this part here, I will do my shoulder slope, and I just went down by 1.5 inches there. Then I connected it downward. So for my sleeve opening, I'm working with a sleeve opening of 10 inches. So that's without the sewing allowance. So for the sewing allowance, I'll be adding 1.5 inches, that is half inch for the joining at the shoulder part, and for the armhole side, like the other side, I'll be joining with 1 inch. So altogether that's 1.5. With the sleeve opening, that's 11.5. So just really line inward like this. So the next thing to do is to measure your bust. You can just use your bust or your hip divided by 4 here. We are making a boo, so divide it by 4, then you add your ease allowance. So your ease allowance is dependent on how wide you want this to be. So at first I wanted to add 3 inches, but I think I added about 5 to 6 inches of ease allowance. That is after dividing my hip divided by 4. I now added about 5 to 6 inches. I think I added 6 inches. So 5 inches for the ease allowance and 1 inch for the joining allowance at the side. So add enough ease allowance so that it can be nice. So you just connect downward like this, then you blend this other part just like this. So I'm cutting the front first, then I'll be using the front to cut the back. You can actually cut both together, but if you don't want to get confused, I would advise you cut the front first, then you will cut the back. So this is the front. Let me place this on this other fabric. So placing it on it, this is what I have. So for the back, you will need an extension of about 5 inches. So the extension I have there is 5 inches. The back is longer than the front. So the front is shorter than the back. So the back is long, the front is short. So the longer one is for the back, while the shorter one is for the front. So now for the neckline, I'll be using a 3 inches neckline. So I'll measure my 3 inches just like this. Then for the back depth, I'll be using 1 inch. So you go ahead and cut. If you notice, I'm cutting both the front and the back like together. So I'll remove the longer one, which is the back. Then I will work on the front. Don't get confused. Oh. The longer one is for the back, while the shorter one is for the front. So I'll remove the longer one now. Then I will work on the neckline of the front. So for the front, we'll be adding this band to the front, to the center front. So what I will do now is to measure 1.5. So the band you are adding is 2 inches, but after joining, this will increase to 2 inches. So you measure 1.5, but we are adding 2 inches band. So measure 1.5 downward like that. Just measure 1.5. Then you connect the points together. So the next thing I will do is to measure the depth of the neckline, just like how low I want my neckline to be. So I'll be working with about 7.5, which I later increased to 8 inches. So from that point there, just connect it to the neckline at the top here. Just slant it like that. Like I said earlier, that I increased this to about 8 inches. This is to allow the easy entrance of the head into the blouse. So now I'll just reshape this back to the 8 inches. Then I will cut this away. So now the next thing I will do is to join this together at the shoulder area before I show you the other things that you need to cut. So you open up the back bodies, then you place the front bodies, align them at the shoulder, then you go ahead and sew with just half inch at the shoulder area. For the pockets, this is my fabric and this is on fold. So this is 7.5 and this is 11 inches. Please, this is on fold as you can see. So this is 7.5 by 11 inches on fold. So at this part here, I will fold it in like just to hem it. So I'll fold half inch first, then 1 inch just to hem that part. So 1.5 will go like that. Then I'll join it with half inch all around. Like I'll join it with half inch. So the length will reduce to about 9 inches, the length of the pocket. So now this is what I'll be using for my band. Like I said initially that I'll be adding band. So this is 4 inches. So I'll add stay to this, then I will be adding it to the sleeve. So I will add stay to it just to give it a little bit of structure. So this is for the neckline, the collar for the neckline. So this is 5 inches wide and the length is just about 20 something inches. So you can measure this from your front body so that you can know what to cut. So this is it. So after joining them together, this is what I have. Like after joining the shoulder area for the bubu, then I will notch the center back. So now you can now measure to know the length of the band for the neckline. You can measure from the center back down to the other end. For the band at the neckline for my own, I'll be joining it together. So I'll be joining it together here. So this joining will be at the center back. So your own can be just straight without any joining. So now remember the 8 inches we measured at the front when we were cutting it. So you mark it on the fabric like this. Then the next thing I will do is to measure from this center back. So I'll measure it all round like that. So you can either measure it individually or you can measure it together. So you can just place your tape from the center back to that point. So whatever you have, so just note that. So but let me go ahead and join this together. So after joining the band together, after joining it together,
I will confirm what I have here. I have 8 inches here and I have about 4 inches here. So altogether mine is 12 inches. So altogether I have 12 inches at this point, just to confirm again. So now I will open this band. See the way I folded it initially. So I will open it up. Then I will measure 12 inches from the center back of the band. I will show you guys now. So this is what you will have. So just fold like this. So that part there is the center back. Then you measure your 12 inches. So this is where my 12 inches is getting to. Then from that point downward, I'll go ahead and join. I will sew at the center. Like I'll just sew at the center downward like that. So after sewing, this is what I have. As you can see, the opening there is now 12 inches. To join the band to the bubu, you align the band, the center back of the band to the center back of the fabric, then you go ahead and just join. So after joining, I have excess here, so I'll go ahead and just cut that out. So now the next thing we'll be doing on this bubu is to add the band at the sleeve area. So we'll add the band at the sleeve area. So in case you are not adding band to your bubu, just go ahead and hem the sleeve area. So that's the next thing you will do. After hemming, the next thing to do now is to hem the front bodies, like the front alone, you will hem it. So whatever your sewing allowance is, you go ahead and just hem this part here. So you fold it, then you go ahead and hem only the front alone, only the front. You go ahead and hem it. After hemming the front, the next thing I will do is to join the side together. You know the front is shorter than the back, so your sewing will stop where the front stops. So you go ahead and sew. So my sewing allowance at this point is 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and just sew and it will stop here. After sewing, the next thing I will do is to hem this part. You see this extra, this side at the back, you go ahead and just it. So since it's 1 inch, I'll just go ahead and fold half inch twice. Then I'll go ahead and sew. Then I will continue and also hem the back bodies too. So after sewing the side, I will now go ahead and hem the back bodies. So this is the 1 inch. You go ahead and fold. Then after folding this part, after sewing it downward, you go ahead and also hem the back. So now I'm done with that. So this is the pocket. So I went ahead to sew the pocket, and this is what the pocket is looking like. This is what the pocket is looking like. And make sure you iron before you fix the pocket. So the next thing to do is to fix this pocket. So I want my pocket to align with the back bodies. So this will be 4 inches upward. You know the pocket length is 9 inches and the distance between the front and the back is 5. So the remaining 4 inches will be attached to the front. As you can see, 4 inches is attached to the front. That is 4 inches from the pocket is attached to the front, while 5 inches will be floating. So from the band, measure just 2 inches away. That's after the band. Measure 2 inches, then you fix your pocket. Make sure you pin this down very well. So after pinning down, just go ahead and sew on top like this, all round, like all round the pocket. Just go ahead and sew. Please, when you are sewing, make sure you lift up the pockets. Please also together with the back bodies. So you lift it up, then you sew all round. So you lift it up, then you sew all round. Then the next thing you will sew again is this side. Just sew it down so that you don't you don't have two opening there. So just sew that part downward. If you don't sew it downward, you have two opening there, and one will not be the pocket. So just sew it down. After sewing, this is what I have, and the pocket is nicely fixed. So I'm done with this bubble, and this is what the bubble looks like. It looks very, very beautiful. So you can pair this with either your shorts, your baggy shorts, or your baggy trouser. So guys, this is what the outcome looks like on my mannequin. And I paired this with a baggy trouser. If you want a tutorial of the baggy trouser, just let me know in the comment section. I will send you the link to the tutorial. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't liked, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and please click on that bell icon to get notified whenever I drop a new video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.